What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This is a safe space for men. Welcome to the Men's Rendezvous, aka Men's Cave, aka Brother's Keeper. This is a safe space for all men and also a safe space for women to come and learn about men. Welcome back. In case you are stopping by for the first time, my name is Chris. And this is a beautiful platform for men. As you all know, like I always say in my introductions, that men are the endangered species right now. And it is a good thing for us to come together, motivate, inspire, encourage, and above all, challenge ourselves to become better, to stand up to the expectations. I'm talking about reasonable expectations right now, and also to um, keep our mental sanity together, keep ourselves in check. All right, so if this is your first time, kindly like, share, and turn on the notification button so that every time I post a video, you'll be the first person to know. And to my OGs, to guys who already subscribed, I want to thank you all for the support, for the encouragement. God bless you. If you've been paying attention, because which of course I believe you have, I've been running a series on African men and the challenges of living abroad. The last one I posted was coping with loneliness as a single man, even as a married man. It can really be challenging if you use me that triangular lifestyle of work, home, and maybe school or church, if you like. You see, it can become very monotonous and it can be lonely. So getting people to cope with, getting a coping mechanism, family, relationship, friend buddies, societal engagements, parties, church will really help a great deal, even sports engagement. And that is on the last podcast. Now, on this one, African men and the challenges of living abroad. As you all know, there are 4 seasons over here. And in each of the seasons, compared to like when you're in Africa, where you basically just have 2 seasons, you are expected to match them back to back. Now, this can be quite financially tasking as a man. I'm telling you, for every season, you are expected to match the financial needs of those seasons back to back. All right, right now we are snowballing into the spring where the snows come down. When it snows, you have to pre-plan, you have to prepare ahead, you have to project ahead before spring comes in. What are the things you need? Particularly if you're a married man, you're going to do a check. Your winter clothes, are they okay? You got to check your house, make sure that your heating system is on point. You got to make sure that your car is good. If you drive your own car, and if you are commuting via bus or train, you got to make sure that your phone is on point. Get updates. You got to go to the app to make sure that the trains are functional. You got to make sure that the buses will come on time. You got to make sure that there's no bus lane that is closed out, because any reason for you not to prepare ahead of time is a disaster. Why? I give you example. If, for example, you have kids, for example, I have kids, and I'm a married man. All right, so you got to prepare for your family for winter, for example. You have to make sure that your heating system does not have problems. If you have to check it, you have to observe to make sure that the heating system is going to heat up the house. Now, for your windows, for example, if you got large windows, you got to observe that your windows, you need to change the curtains. Yeah, the curtain needs to be changed so that it can absorb or retain more heat in the house. Then if you go out, you have to go out a lot. You got to make sure that you have the right shoes so that you don't sleep. You got to have the right hand warmers, head warmers, clothing. You got to make sure that all of these things are properly provided for, because these are safety measures to keep you warm, to keep you safe. Now, when you go to talk about cars, you have to make sure that you service your car well ahead of time, so that it doesn't develop issues in the winter. And when a car develops issues in the winter, oh Lord, have mercy on your soul. The last thing you ever want to have your car break down in the middle of the road with nobody and the snow, and it's going to cost you twice. And if you know, God help you if you have your family with you when it breaks down. That means that the heat will deplete fast. And when that happens, it begins to get cold, it begins to get uncomfortable. And you know that the weather and the winter can be very hazy, can be very, temperatures can drop, all right, and the visibility will be very poor. And anything can happen. Accident can happen at that point. So you see, these are a plethora of various issues that can happen if proper preparations are not put in place. And this is one season. I mean, you're going to have to check your tires. There are winter tires. You know, you have to check your schedules when you have to go out. Sometimes the train commute is canceled. You have to consider a plan B. And one of the reasons why you need to make proper preparations is so that you don't end up spending more than in normal. Because I tell you, for all of the 4 seasons, the finances are different. And I believe that we tend to spend more during this cold seasons. We tend to spend more. In the winter seasons, we tend to spend more. I'm telling you, in clothing, you have to improve your clothing every season if you like. You cannot be recycling the same. Sometimes they're worn out, and the returnership, the warm returnership is low or is out of place. So you have to, because every time you do laundry on those clothes, it expands and it expands, and the need to keep you warm, it becomes thinner and thinner. So it's very important for you to prepare. So as an African man living abroad, one of the challenges you're going to face is the financial expectations, the different seasons. The money you're going to spend, then when you come to spring, spring, the code is easing out. So it's gradually introducing you. The thing is different. At those points, you need to do check, make sure that your system is still working. And spring and fall can be very deceptive. When you want to unwind, but before you know it, you're caught in the cold. So the time of spring, you might not really spend as much because you're easing off from the cold. So you might not spend as much during spring because at that time the cold is easing out and you're going into summer. Now, when you come to summer, you will now completely discard almost all the things you used during winter. I'm telling you, yes, you almost want to discard every warmer, hand warmer, head warmer, shoes. It's a complete different season. And at this season, in the springtime, you're complaining about, you are doing a check and making sure that the heaters are working and all of that. But when you come into summer, you're now going to be preparing to make sure that your air conditioning system is working. All right, you're going to make sure that it's not broken down. You see, so, and that preparation gradually towards the end of spring, that's when the preparation comes in. You have to make sure that all of these things are working, locomotively, simultaneously. And, from there, you go to summer. Now, summer is hot. You discard everything. You might not spend money on clothing and all of that. All right, you might not, but you're going to spend money on heating system. You're going to spend money on making sure that on the air conditioning system, both in your house and in your car. All right, and you're going to make sure that your facilities are well air conditioned. And these are the financial challenges. Now, in the springtime, you might not get in as much engagement, outdoor engagement, as you would have on the summertime. On the summertime, all activities are on top gear. You're going to have to go out. You're going to have to go for engagement, interact with people, and all of that. Then if you have kids, your kids, you have to the school programs will go out in full gear. Activities, sport activities, other social activities, and all of that will come into place, and you need to be available. Yes, you need to take them out. You need to go on summer excursions, summer vacation. Take them to nice, lovely places. Let them. They have one of the highest places you can go to is Disneyland, and Disneyland is not free. It costs money. So, as a man, you are going to engage yourself in all of these things. Yes, you have to plan so that what you're doing is you're building memory for yourself and for your children. It can be quite financially challenging, but in overall, you're building a great legacy for the children. You're building a great memory for them. These are the things that they will look back on and say, "Oh, they had a good life. They enjoyed themselves. They had fun. Oh, that amount was such a fun people to grow up with, because they did such and such and this and that, and you will be better for it." Yes, it's going to cost you a lot, but if you are able to plan it, put something aside, then do not go way over your budget. Bring it close, narrow it down. You do not over project, and kids don't take that. Kids don't take it lightly. When you promise and you don't fulfill, no, they don't find it funny. So if you have to promise, I'm going to advise you. Make sure you meet your own part of the bargain. All right. So this is one of the challenges, financial challenges, financial seasonal changes. It changes. What you spent last year in a particular season might not be what you spend this year, because you do not know the challenge that you're going to come across or encounter in the other seasons. So you need to prepare. And one thing about living abroad is you have to prepare. You have to prepare mentally, psychologically, emotionally. You have to prepare. And the cold is not funny when it comes to winter time, springtime. Now we're going into full winter period. And now the snows are on the horizon. And some states already have snow, and others are expecting it, because the wind is blowing towards us. If you haven't experienced snow yet, you already started feeling a wind, cold, hard wind. I'm talking about wind that will pull down a truck. I know you will not believe it. And I'm talking about this experience, for those who live in Africa, for those who live abroad here, you already have an idea. So you have to prepare. And it's not a good time to be lonely. Oops. It's not a good time to be lonely. All right. So that is why, as a married man, as a married woman, make sure that you do your best to keep your family intact. Provide as much as you can. Do not break the bank. All right. Budget as much as you can. Budgeting can be challenging. You have very beautiful, healthy kids who eat and can be picky with their eating. All right, that's what I can take on this. Okay, we have 4 seasons, and the different seasons for an African man living abroad who back home only has seasons. Here you have to prepare for 4 seasons, and the 4 seasons they don't come cheap. You have to prepare for them financially. You have to prepare for them. You have to store, like in winter time. You have to store food, because if there are occasions where there'll be snowstorms, and when the snowstorms can hit the snowstorm, it can stretch to a day, 2-3 days, or sometimes in a week. There could be snowstorm in a week, and when the snowstorm happens in a week, you will not be able to go outside. Your car is already snow stuck somewhere. no commute, and you see the first responders trying to help people clear the road and all of that. Sometimes you have snowstorms that stretch, and God help you if you don't have food at home. So you see, the financial burden comes in. You have to spend. You have to spend money. Then if it's in the summer, there can be heat wave. You think that because you live in the sub-Sahara that you can absorb heat, but what you do not know is that your body has adapted to the winter experience of cold. So that sharp transition from cold to from extreme cold to extreme heat, your body might not be able to take it. Yes, and I'm telling you from experience. So that's from very cold winter storm that can last for days, then just transition into the 100 degrees of heat. You can't be able to. So you need to prepare for it. So when I tell you there's heat wave, they're not talking about people who were born here and lived there and all of that. They're talking about you yourself and your health, because the heat will be so much that you will feel it. You will not be able to stand it. So you have to prepare ahead by stack up on water and normal basic supplies. The same thing with the winter. You have to stack up at all times so it comes out of your pocket. All right. And I plan, prepare. And that's much I can take today on African men living abroad, African men and the challenges of living abroad, seasonal financial expectations. And until I see you next time, like, share, turn on the notification button so that every time I post a video, you will be the first to know. Do not forget, this is a safe space for men. All right. My job is not to tell you what to do because you're grown. Your job is to think about what I tell you. Do not let me occupy a space in your head, but just a few seconds, think about what I tell you. If you're coming abroad, these are some of the challenges from Africa, some of the challenges you're going to face. Are you ready for it? Can you absorb? Can you retain? You do not know it. The fact that you lived in a cold environment somewhere sometimes doesn't mean that you can take the stress of a cold season or the stress of an extreme heat season, at different times. All right. And the finances that comes with it, you have to prepare, you have to plan, you have to look forward to, and you have to put your finances in order. You have to prepare mentally, psychologically, and all of that. All right. All right. Like, share, turn on the notification button. I want to hear from you. If you think I missed something else, leave it in a comment. Until I see you same time, my name is Chris. Have a fabulous week. I forgot to say Happy New Month. It's the month of December. I pray that the line shall fall on you in pleasant places. Have a fabulous rest of the week. Bye for now. Bye-bye.